Imagine you're driving down the highway on your way to buy a used car and you've got $5,000 in cash tucked safely in your glove compartment. Suddenly, flashing lights appear behind you. A routine traffic stop. You pull over thinking it's no big deal. Maybe you were a few miles over the speed limit. The officer asks for your license and registration and then casually asks if you're carrying any weapons or large amounts of cash. You answer honestly because you've done nothing wrong. But then it happens. The officer asks you to step out of the vehicle. Next thing you know, they're searching your car and find your cash. And now they say it looks suspicious. You try to explain that you're on your way to buy a car. You even show them the listing on your phone. But it doesn't matter. They tell you they're taking the money. Not as evidence, but as suspected proceeds of a crime. No arrest, no charges, just gone. This is called civil asset forfeiture. And it's legal in many states. Under this controversial policy law, enforcement can seize property, cash, or valuables if they suspect it's connected to a crime. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to charge you. In fact, you may never see a courtroom at all unless you fight back. And here's the worst part. The burden is on you to prove the money is innocent. Yes, in this twisted version of the law, your property is guilty until proven innocent. That's why it's often called policing for profit. Law enforcement agencies get to keep a portion of the assets they seize. That means there's a financial incentive to take first and ask questions later. People have lost thousands of dollars, cars, and even homes, all without ever being convicted or charged with a crime. In some cases, it's poor people, immigrants, or people of color who are hit hardest. Why? Because they're less likely to have lawyers and less likely to be able to fight the system. There have been reforms in a few states and some legal challenges. But in many parts of the U.S., this practice still thrives in silence. And most people don't even know it exists until it happens to them. So the next time you think carrying cash is perfectly legal, remember this story. Because in America, telling the truth during a traffic stop might just cost you everything in your wallet. Stay informed, know your rights, and never assume that being innocent is enough to protect you. On Silent Rights, we expose the loopholes they don't want you to know. Follow us to protect yourself from the laws that could ruin your life without warning.